And that's when I told the guy, hey man, step off, that's my girl.
Hey, do you want to hear a ghost story?
Sure.
It's about revenge, tragedy, and death.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's about a man named Hamlet.
Oh. Oh.
Ha! What draws near?
Hamlet, I am your father.
What?
Oh.
I must follow it.
Oh.
Wait, spirit, wait! Wait!
Oh.
No ghost!
So the ghost appears and tells Hamlet to follow him, but Hamlet doesn't know whether or not the ghost is his actual father or if it's just a demon. So Hamlet's very curious and he follows the ghost.
There you are, spirit. Speak now.
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night. And for the day cometh too fast in fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house. I could a tale unfold whose lightest words would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy two eyes like stars start from their spheres. Thy knot and combined lot to part, and each particular hair to stand an end. Like quills upon the feathers pertain, but thy eternal blazon must not be. To ears of flesh and blood, list, list, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder. Murder most foul as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural. I find thee apt, and duller shouldst thou be than the fat weed that roasts itself in east and leatherworth. Wouldst thou not stir in this? Now, Hamlet, here, 'tis given out that, sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me, so the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death. Rankly, but know, thou noble youth, the serpent thou sting thy father's life, now wears his crown. And thy, that insidious, that adulterous beast, with witchcraft of his wits, with treacherous gifts, O wicked wits and gifts that have the power to seduce one to his shameful lust, the will of the most seemingly virtuous queen of O Hamlet. What a falling off was there for me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand even with the vows.
Oh, spirit, this is so confusing. All of it.
I made to her in marriage, and to decline upon the wretch whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. But virtue, as it never will be moved, thou lewd court in the shape of heaven. So lust, thou to a radiant angel lick, will sate himself in a celestial bed, and prey on garbage. But soft methinks I scent the morning air, brief let me, sleeping in my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed heaven in a vial, and in the porches of my ear did pour the leopardess distilment, whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man, that swift as quicksilver it coursed through the natural gates of the alley of the body, and with a sudden vigor of doth posset, and curd like eager droppings into milk, the thin and wholesome blood, so did it mine, and a most instant tedder barked about, and Lazar like, with vile and loathsome crust all my smooth body. Thus was I sleeping by a brother's hand of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sin, unhoused, led, disappointed. Against thy mother aught, leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that are in her bosoms lodged, to prick and sting herself. Fare thee well at once. The glow warm shows the maintain to be near, and gins to pale his unaffected fire. Adieu, adieu, remember me. Remember me.
So the king tells Hamlet to get revenge on his uncle father for killing the king and then for stealing his wife. And in the process of Hamlet trying to plot revenge, he ends up killing Polonius, who is the father of Ophelia and Laertes. And Laertes comes back from wherever he was at and wants to kill Hamlet.
For this, sir, now shall you see the other? You do remember all the circumstance.
My lord.
Sir, in my good heart, there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Methought I lay worse than the minutes in the bilboes, rashly, and praise be rashness for it. Let us know our indiscretion sometimes serves us well, when our deep plots do pal, and that should teach us there's divinity that shapes our ends. Rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin my sea gown scarfed me, in the dark. Groped I find them, had my desire, fingered their packet, and in the fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold, my fears forgetting manners, to unseal their grand commission, where I found Horatio, loyal knavery, an exact command, larded with many several sorts of reasons, importing Denmark's health, and England's too. With such bugs and goblins in my life, that on the supervise no leisure bated. No, not to stay by the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Read it at more leisure, but if thou hear how I did proceed.
Beseech you.
Being thus bended around with villainies, ere I could make a prologue to my brains, they had begun the play. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. I once did hold it as our status do, and a baseness to write fair and labored much. How to forget that learning? But sir, now it did me yeoman's service. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, good my lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king, as England was faithful tributary, as love between them like the palm might flourish, as peace should still her wheaten garland wear, and stand a comma between their amities, and many such like as is great charge, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further more or less, he should those bears put to sudden death, not striving time allowed.
How is this sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven ordinate, I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish seal, folded the writ up to the form of the other, subscribed it, thus gave the impression, placed it safely. The changeling never known. Now the next day was our sea fight, and what to this was sequent, thou knowest already.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it?
And they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience their defeat, does by their own insuention grow. 'Tis dangerous when the baser nature comes, between the past and fell incense points of mighty opposites.
Why, what a king is this?
Does it not, think thee, stand me now upon? He that hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cozenage is not perfect conscience, to quit him with his arm, and isn't to be damned, to let this canker of our nature come in further evil?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business here.
It will be short. The interim is mine, and a man's life no more than to say one. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself, for by the image of my cause I see, the protector of his, I'll court his favors. But sure the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Ship is right. Welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost knowest the water fly?
No, my good lord.
State is more gracious, for 'tis vice to know him. He hath much land and fertile. Let a beast be lord of beasts, and his crib shall stand at the king's mess. 'Tis a cough, but as I say, spacious in the possession of dirt.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all the diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use. 'Tis for the head.
I thank you, your lordship. It is very hot.
No, believe me, 'tis very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet, methinks it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord, it is very sultry, as 'twere I cannot tell how. My lord, his majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember!